how would you manage your time by doing a full-time job, then again learning about DevOps, which is a complex concept, right? Okay, what exactly the DevOps engineer
Or
does?
creation of that infrastructure. We also manage the servers, like you can see hotspots.
On how confident are you that hey, I will be able to successfully transition toward DevOps before connecting?
So I was not at all confident because, as I told you, I had many interaction with other people that this is a very impossible task. Don't do that. So my job search was very lazy.
Okay, so what is the biggest challenge you used to face when you're doing everything on your own?
So biggest challenge was that my resume was not at all presentable. My LinkedIn was not at all presentable. So
Recently, I saw a comment on my podcast. ठीक है, there is like by सब podcast में लिंक्डइन क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Advantages of having a great LinkedIn profile.
straightforward, I get message. What are you interested for this profile?
Okay, do you think is that market so bad there is no opening zone in the market? And what are the things you implemented to handle this HR objection?
You have to just stand forth with your skill set and with the mind that they also need. You don't have to be desperate.
Tell me, what is the one biggest mistake you made in early in the career?
So I was very desperate of getting a job.
Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to one more podcast with Grow with Gireesh podcast. So today we have one more success story with us. We have Pratibha Ghosh with us, who has worked as a QA for approximately 3 years into QA automation domain, and right now she has successfully transitioned for the role of a DevOps engineer currently, despite in the tough market, despite of having all the challenges. Let's understand what exactly the journey of her, and also let's understand what are the challenges she faced and what exactly the steps she has taken to overcome those challenges to have a this career transition. I hope this podcast will give you a clear insights on the domain change or the career transition change. So watch the podcast until the end, and I hope you enjoy this podcast. Hi Pratibha, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. So first of all, thank you so much for doing this. It is going to help a lot of people as well. Okay, so in this podcast, I want to be as candid as possible, and also wanted to tell some things which people will take away at the end of the podcast. Cool, super. So as usual, just wanted you to introduce yourself, your background, your previous work experience, and all the stuff.
Okay. So hi everyone. This is Pratibha, and I have graduated from Bharati Vidyapeeth, and post that I started to work as a QA.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was looking for a desperate transition in the field that is your DevOps.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not able to get that pretty well, but somehow I landed there.
Okay, can you just tell me, like, how did you decide at first that okay, QA is something that you wanted to work for? I think you worked briefly around 3 years in a startup. So
Yeah.
tell me your journey of working as a QA in 3 years.
So working as a QA, first of all, I first 1.5 years, it took me time. First, I think 6 months it took me time to understand the work and everything because I freshly came out from college and started to work here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I believe that I got to know different. I was actually not happy with the testing background because it was not me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking different. I was exploring different pathways
Field
where
options. Mm.
so I was not that feeling great about working there as a QA because as a QA you have to work on the same task daily, like the same button
Mm.
and everything. You have to be like,
Mm.
suppose that I got to know about this DevOps role, so
Mm.
I just started to look onto it
Mm.
and somehow like that.
Okay, can you tell me what motivated you to go towards the DevOps? Like, how is that DevOps thing actually? What kind of interested you have generated towards DevOps? What made you to have a transition, basically?
So yes, so I am a big fan of Scalar Academy. So I get a lot of ads on my Scalar.
Mm.
So somehow, and few of my friends are also working with different tools. So
Mm.
I've heard
Mm.
of the tools.
Mm.
So once I just joined a master class of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed the technology behind that, how it is helping so many people,
Mm-hmm.
how the platform is working, how industries are working. So it really took my energy towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose that I have attended many Scalar master classes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Since Scala academies are very, high
Mm-hmm.
end, so I landed to do my own R&D, and then I started to prepare myself.
Okay, great. So basically, you educated yourself a lot on the domain of DevOps. And
Yeah,
once you feel that, okay, this is my cup of tea, I am enjoying this and everything, then you started your learning journey. Correct?
yeah,
So,
correct.
but you're doing a job, right? So tell me, how does you prepare for a DevOps role? Like, because see, a lot of people give me an excuse, Digrish, I am looking for a transition, but I have a full-time job. It's very difficult for me to go transition. I can't learn everything. So tell me, how did you actually start preparing for the DevOps roles, having a full-time job?
So yes, so I started back in I think November time.
Hmm?
Last November I started, but it was a pathless. I had a roadmap,
Hmm.
but it was not. Whenever some delivery or release used to come, I
Hmm.
used to forget my studies and I was fully focused on my QA task only. Basically, you can say that I was not much motivated. I was not consistent.
Mhm, mhm,
So it was very difficult for me to manage both of it. So consistency was not there.
mhm,
It was
mhm,
very difficult, and that's why it took, I think, time for me to realize the
mhm.
consistency loophole point.
Okay, so then how did you manage? How did you bring back the consistency and now you're able to land a job as well, right? So tell me, what are the changes you did on a daily basis? Okay, let's be very specific. On a daily basis, how would you manage your time by doing a full-time job, then again learning about DevOps, which is a complex concept, right? The cloud systems and everything, all these things, right? So what does your day look like doing a full-time job, then also upskilling?
So I would like to answer this question in a way that I was not at all structured. It was just a skeleton. I was not following it at all. So
Okay.
somehow I knew one of my friend. I
Mm,
had word with him that, see, I'm not able to transition. I know the concepts and everything,
mm,
but somehow I just don't know what is lacking.
mm,
So he just introduced me to you, and he gave me your name. So
mm,
he's like, why don't you just go and, have a look at it?
mm,
So just see
mm,
how his way is. So I was very, intimidated that no,
mm,
this
mm.
is not, tech. He's not a tech
Techniques.
person. So how could, this is going to help me out?
Mm,
So you
mm,
will just check it out. No, look at the plans and everything.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
this is how I came to know about you, and I joined. And the first call which I had about you was very, it gave me confidence, because
mm.
you usually don't take anybody into your
Got it. Got
place
it. Got it.
platform. So
Mm,
you asked me many questions, and it was not something which was you wanted to just come to my place and I'll teach you and all that.
mm, mm,
So that gave me confidence at the first call itself.
mm,
So I thought of joining it, and trust me, after joining you,
mm,
my loophole, which was of not being consistent,
mm,
and
mm, mm.
it just went off.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
was, and after joining you, you gave me certain points. So
Mm-hmm.
my day started with a planner, and it
Ah,
ended with all the points which I meant, which
mm,
you
mm,
have, taught us to
mm,
write.
mm,
So it became structured, and it became a, system, like, this has to be followed.
mm,
So I
mm,
would
mm,
like to answer this, that my whole 90 days ka period
mm.
became a structure.
So basically, you use some tools and systems to structure your day.
Yeah,
Correct.
correct.
So can you tell me any two tools? So like one is the planner, which we talked about,
Mm.
structuring your day and everything, right? So morning and evening you used to go for a job. So after that, you used to prepare for your interviews and topics and everything. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's be a realistic question. A lot of people like Girish, but do you think don't you think it's very difficult? Like, say, I wanted to ask you a very honest question. Is it easy? It can be manageable. Is it too difficult to do everything at a time, like doing a job, upskilling parallelly? Is it difficult? And if it is, how did you manage?
So I think nothing is difficult. Yeah, it is difficult, but if you have that thing, I believe in that phrase, fire in the belly. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have that thing in you, no, nothing can stop you. Yeah, days would come that you won't feel like no, aaj nahi ho raha, just leave.
Mm-hmm.
But joining you gave me a advantage that you were a pushback. That no, Pratibha,
Mm-hmm.
just do. Just follow this. You don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Blindly do this and that, whatever your strategies are. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, yes, it was difficult, but not very difficult that it was not doable for me.
I think so. Basically, you're telling that, हाँ, difficult है, but like in it's something if you're really serious about it, you will be able to manage it with the
Correct.
proper support. Okay,
Correct.
makes sense. Now, one question. Okay, you're fascinated about DevOps. You took the DevOps domain and everything. Okay. Now, if somebody watching this video wants to know about, okay, what exactly is a DevOps engineer does? Okay, go without going into too much of technical. And also I wanted to highlight what do you think is the future of DevOps in the next two to like next 5 years? Is it going to be flourished? What kind of opportunities a person can make in the DevOps career according to your understanding? If you can highlight on that, that would be great.
So I think that DevOps is a very great career
Mm-hmm.
because first of all, as what a DevOps engineer does, we
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
we are a bridge between developer team and the operation team. You can say
Okay.
we are operation team, basically a bridge between your developer and a QA.
Oh,
So
okay.
we usually whatever a dev pushes code or anything, we
Mm-hmm.
just manage that. We so best of all, I can give you a better example of that. We create infrastructure or creation
Okay.
of that infrastructure. We also manage the servers, like you
Mm-hmm.
can see hotspots,
Mm-hmm.
hot start. You know how it becomes
Teaming
very,
plan.
yeah,
Huge number of people come on the single
and
window
how do
time.
we manage that? And also Flipkart when there is big billion day sale in Amazon. So how
Mm-hmm.
that is being managed, it is done by us. So
Oh,
I think it has a very great career because now we are moving towards technology only.
mm,
Everywhere, everybody needs an infrastructure for them. And
correct.
at the same time, you also want, your server to run properly. So
Mm,
that is the task which is, and also if you are a DevOps, you can easily move to, cloud engineer as well, because
mm,
we
mm,
also study about cloud. So
mhm.
there, if you are studying this DevOps, you're not confined to become a DevOps only. You have many
Oh.
ways to go for.
So you can also expand your roles and responsibilities over the time.
Correct. You can expand.
Okay, great. Second question: if somebody is considering to join, take DevOps as a career, do you suggest them?
See, DevOps, I would say,
Or is there any specifications that okay, this person should have this many minimum skill sets of code or tech or code technical skills? Then only it is something they can consider.
see, again, the factor comes in. I don't think being a QA, I had much, skill
Technical.
sets I developed.
Mm,
And if you have that, DevOps is all about having patience because you need a lot of patience to debug.
mm,
Debugging skills are very important.
mm,
And nowadays, since I'm also giving many interviews, they're asking that if you have good coding skills towards Python or Bash. So
no.
I think if you have a logical reasoning side,
Mm,
good
mm,
logical
mm,
reasoning you can
mm.
have, then it's a good career for you, and
Good.
you can give a very good pathway towards a DevOps career if you opt for it.
Okay, now let's talk about a little personal question. Okay, so when you worked as a QA for approximately 3 years, right? And you told your friends or any of your circle that, okay, I'm planning to get into DevOps. What are the initial reactions? And how did you actually respond to that initial reactions?
So, yes, I have taken, advice from many.
Mm,
So everybody are into dev field.
mm, mm, mm,
Everybody's like, Pratibha, are you serious? You
mm,
can't do this because DevOps is in between, dev and QA. I understand.
mm,
But if you are a developer, if you would try for a developer, DevOps is an easy career because
mm,
what happens in most of the industries that a developer only performs the task of a DevOps. So
mm,
they are like, no,
mm,
you guys, this is not possible. Plus, you are a QA. This is a big transition. Nobody would take
Like
you.
complete 360 डिग्री शिफ्ट होता है जो अलग ही होता है पूरा
हाँ,
concept. हाँ हाँ.
बिल्कुल।
Oh, yeah.
So everybody suggested me that, but as I told you, I don't listen to anybody. I
Mm.
believe if you have that zest of
Interest.
doing, you
Mm.
will reach ultimately.
Got it. The reason I've asked you this question is a lot of people just stop because they get some feedback from the market or the people around them, and they just stop their like no next step, even though they're very passionate or even though they know that they'll be able to do it. I think that's a good point. Now let's understand a little bit about your job search journey before you started working with me, like before you start connecting with me. So generally, tell me, how do you used to search for jobs, or on how confident are you that hey, I will be able to successfully transition toward DevOps before connecting with me? Just shed light on that.
So I was not at all confident because as I told you, I had many interaction with other people that
Mhm.
this is a very impossible task. Don't do that.
Mhm.
So my job search was very like, lazy. I
Mhm.
used to just, I had a Naukri profile, but it was not updated. I was like, who is going to, without any
Mhm.
prior experience of
Will going to
any tech
consider.
skills, who is going to take me in?
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
was just like LinkedIn. I used to connect with people who were only one and two, no
Mhm.
response.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it was, you can say the graph was growing down only. I was not at all consistent. It was very bad search. I had no strategy.
Mhm.
So it was like that.
Okay, so what is the biggest challenge you used to face when you're doing everything on your own? Is it not getting calls, or I know you're not constant everything, but what are the little work you used to do? So what is the biggest challenge you used to face before?
So biggest challenge was that my resume was not at all presentable. My
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn was not at all presentable. So see, now for a corporate employee, this LinkedIn is everything. So
Mm-hmm.
recruiters before reaching you out or shortlisting you, they go through your LinkedIn profile.
Because some people recently I saw a comment on my podcast. ठीक है, there is like भाई सब podcast में लिंक्डइन लिंक्डइन क्यों बोल रहा है, राइट? सो आई एम लाइक भाई लिंक्डइन क्यों बोल रहा है, क्योंकि लिंक्डइन से ही सब काम होता है अभी.
Correct.
Okay, so I think that's what I told you, right? So a lot of people ask me why LinkedIn. So 8 months back, I started creating content on LinkedIn, and yesterday, like 2 days back, I went to LinkedIn headquarters, right?
Yeah.
That's the possibilities you can have from
Yeah.
LinkedIn, right? So I think it's a very good point which I've highlighted. So you used to have this kind of challenges before,
Correct.
right? Okay, now when you started with me, right? So tell me what exactly are the things you did right. Okay, like Girish, I followed the top three things which
Hmm.
you've told me that has actually helped me a lot in my whole journey. What are the top three things?
So the top three things I would say which helped me a lot was your this planner book.
Mm-hmm.
It really helped me.
I think this one, right? Momentum planner wala thing.
Management planner. This really helped me a lot. I still bought one.
Okay, good. What
So
exactly is it people don't know about this? What do you think is it?
So yeah, so planner I would say is a system for you. You define everything you write. You get you get pages like overview, preview of the week, and what are the
Mm-hmm.
top three priorities you need to do. And also the best part which I learned from you is I was very bad with time management. So
Mm-hmm.
I've written every track of time, what I'm doing, where I'm losing the track of time. So that is very good. And second thing which helped me with you was to know the strategies which
Mm-hmm.
I never knew existed.
Mm-hmm.
So and third thing would be your pushback. You were always there whenever I was not I was low with confidence and everything.
Accountability, basically.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, got it. So understood that part. Now, one question I would love to answer. This question is right. See, a lot of people when they think of career transition, right, and because of the current market scenario, which everybody's layoffs and everything, I really wanted to ask this question to each and every person in the podcast. Okay, do you think is that market so bad there is no openings only in the market? First question. Second thing, if there is openings in the market, according to you, what kind of candidates the HRs are looking currently?
So first question, I would answer that I don't think if your LinkedIn profile and your
Mhm.
resume and your skill sets are that, nobody can stop you from getting call. And if you're being consistent towards applying jobs, even if you're not getting calls, just apply, apply, apply. So no,
Okay.
market doesn't play. Market is inversely proportional, not directly inversely proportional indirectly, but
Mm.
market is not that dependent to get a job.
Okay. Good. Second point.
And second point, I would say that this market. I don't think that it is very much. I would say LinkedIn again is the most important
Okay, let's
part.
address this point, right? Okay, when we're saying LinkedIn is important, okay. So, okay, what do you think advantages of having a great LinkedIn profile? What do you think it will help you? How do you think LinkedIn will help you in terms of your hiring process, or maybe in terms of creating the trust? Or what do you think? How does that LinkedIn play a huge role in the whole process?
Okay, so I would speak of my experience.
Yeah, 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 please.
So I was not even having 500 connection list.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, if you have a good LinkedIn profile, like your post, your features, your certifications, everything are updated. Your about list and your profile picture even does matter. So if you have everything in a very structured manner, you are being viewed by people. And the most important thing is your post. If your posts are helpful for people, then you're being viewed. And even sometimes, the recruiters also reach out to you. So I have been, my recruiters do reach out to me. They directly straightforward, I get message, what are you interested for this profile?
Good.
So
Rather
that,
than you chasing them, people let the recruiters come to you because of your profile.
yeah.
Okay. I think it's a great strategy. Okay. Now, a lot of people saying like, Girish, I don't have time for LinkedIn, all these things. I'm a full-time employee. My content create nahi kar sakta hu, optimization nahi kar sakta hu. So I just wanted to have a schedule. Do you think that it's really that time consuming that you can't spend? Like, how much time do you think it generally takes you to manage a LinkedIn profile on a weekly basis?
So I think LinkedIn has a very good feature of scheduling your post, and
Mm-hmm.
Saturday weekends are for, you just sit back, and I don't think 2 days people would, even if you go out, it just takes, so much AI tools are there. It just
Mm-hmm.
takes, if you align your, post 5 days, that was, I think 40 to 45 minutes it would take for you to write the post and schedule it. So it's not difficult. It's just like using Instagram.
Got it.
If you have that kind of thing that you want to make your LinkedIn that presentable, and you want to help people because your post do help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's that difficult.
I think it makes sense. Now, okay, let me address the one more challenge people face. I think you have actually beautifully done it. Okay. Okay, when people actually do the career transition thing, okay, first thing is, of course, that there is like, matlab, will people give me the opportunity or not? And the major problem people feel, tell me is, Girish, when actually HRs are reaching out to me, when they say I'm doing a career transition, they're actually not scheduling the interview calls for me. First thing. Second thing is, how do you handle this HRs in terms of, and by the way, you have transitioned with a 30% hike also,
Hmm.
not with the same CTC also. That's also a good thing. So, how did you convey to the HR that, hey, I know I'm new to this domain, but still my value doesn't decrease according to that parameter? And what are the things you implemented to handle this HR objection? Because that is a major problem which people has.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I have had encountered this question because this is the most important question HR do ask.
Hmm. Hmm.
So again, I've taken help of you.
Hmm.
I was before that it was not at all structured answer.
Hmm.
So post that, and let me tell everyone that this was not at all a lie. I am a newbie here. I haven't
Hmm.
got any kind of experience as well.
Hmm.
So the way you take mocks and
Hmm.
you have those PDFs in your Trello board, those actually helped me a lot to
Hmm.
prepare the answer and to have a confidence in me that companies also need employees. At the same time, you also need them, so you have to
Yes.
understand this thing. Because
Hmm.
it is very important that you have to just stand forth with your skill set and with a mind that they also need. You don't have to be desperate that job chahiye.
Hmm.
So this was the thing.
So basically, it's a mindset game along with that a little bit of practice of the skill sets and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. But what you're saying is, but if you can put your value to the HR that I am also up, you also need me, I also need you, that kind of equation, then definitely they're able to go forward. And
Yeah. But
you,
that answer needs to be prepared well. You
yeah.
have to go through that answer.
Mm-hmm. Mocks and everything, the practice stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Got it. So last couple of questions before we wind up, right? Uh, so the question is all about this question is a lot of people ask me this question. Okay, Gireesh. Okay, see, every information is available on YouTube. Everybody knows how. If you go on YouTube and type how to write content on LinkedIn, it's there. How to
Hmm.
prepare a resume, hundreds of videos are there. So every information is available, and they have a lot of their friends who are working in big companies.
Hmm.
Okay, so then why should I take a professional help? Why can't I use this and get a high paying job? So what do you feel about that approach? First point. And second question is, do you really think a person needs a career coach, or she can do everything by herself and get great results in the career?
So I think that yes, everything is available, but
Hmm.
again, you need if you are that consistent and if you are that, first of all, what helped me, I'll talk about
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
Everything is available, I know,
Hmm.
but you gave us a clear understanding of how to take help out of them. You have everything, but you should have that idea of how to utilize that thing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that I got help from you that
Hmm.
हाँ इन चीजों को ऐसे use कर. I never knew that LinkedIn could be so powerful.
Hmm.
This thing I learned from you. I
Hmm.
never knew that I have everything. It's just I need to implement that. This
Hmm.
thing I learned from you.
Hmm.
And second question, I would answer. I would say that and also I would want to add one point that you need certain advice and guidance sometimes. Yeah,
Hmm.
AI are there, but you need to put the right question to AI to get the answer,
Hmm.
which I got
Hmm.
from you.
Hmm. Okay.
So career coach, it really helped me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And because I was not able to, technically I was okay, I was
Hmm.
sound, but
Hmm.
how to deliver that in front of the people who are going to hire you is the
Hmm.
most important thing.
Yes.
Because one thing I've learned, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So you have to, make yourself that available कि
Hmm.
हाँ मैंने ये चीज आती है और मेरे को ये आता है. So
Hmm.
it is why I think career coach, if you see that you are stagnant, it is
Hmm.
not taking you anywhere.
Hmm.
I don't think that people should think a second of not taking help from a career coach.
Basically, asking her help is not what is it, disadvantage, or it's not a weakness.
Yeah.
Asking for help is strength in any way, in terms of
Yeah.
fitness, in terms of coaching. So having and asking for help and doing things after receiving help is actually a strength, right?
Correct.
So because at the end of the day, guys, the more you learn, the more you earn.
Hmm.
All the success stories you see on the podcast, including Pratibha, whatever, these people, and Pratibha has beautifully put the journey also. We are not only telling about CTC 30% hike and everything. We are trying to showcase the journey in the last couple of minutes, right? So I think that's a great takeaway from the podcast as well, Pratibha. Last two questions. Okay, now tell me, what is the one biggest mistake you made in early in the career, which you don't want anybody to make? First
Early
thing.
in career,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I was very desperate of getting a job. I
Hmm.
haven't studied the market, that which tool, which tool or which branch is going to have a boom career in your next 10 years or something. So
Hmm.
that I
So
would say.
basically, you're telling that do research on multiple domains, pick a domain which has a long-term future.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And you see DevOps in the same space and everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically. Okay, got it. Now, last one question, Pratibha, before we wind up, right? So this podcast will be sooner or later watched by thousands of people. That will be on the public domain, right? So there will be a lot of people who will be sitting on their homes, applying some 500, 300 jobs on Naukri on LinkedIn, not receiving interview calls. And parents are telling that, why are you not getting your CTC high? मतलब राहुल राहुल को बेटा देखो, उसको देखो, वो तो कार ही लिया, मतलब आप उसका पैकेज देखो, आप ही डेवो आप इंजीनियरिंग कर रहा है, वो भी इंजीनियरिंग किया, यू आर ऑल्सो अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, ही इज ऑल्सो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, बट उसका पैकेज इतना बड़ा है। अगर इसी तरीके से सवाल सारा सुन रहा है एंड उसको लग रहा है कि हाँ मेरे से कुछ नहीं हो सकता, व्हाट इज योर वन सजेशन टू ऑल दिस पीपल? बिकॉज आई नो यू आर ऑल्सो इन दैट पोजिशन, confused state, and last December you said something, you started November, and before even less than a year you did it from the
Hmm.
zero basically. So and ये भी आप face किया होगा इस phase. So what is that one suggestion you want to tell all those kind of people that from your side?
So one suggestion which I still apply, I would say is that, yeah, definitely people are there who are of your lower of your age are earning more and more and are not earning, they're more skilled than you. So
Hmm.
you just have to, first of all, just don't hesitate of, taking help, because really it can do wonders first. And second, I would say that it is very important to keep on upskilling yourself. Days would come when you will feel that, oh shit, I'm not earning that much. That guy is earning so much. So
Hmm.
that would be the day. But end of the day, you have to realize before going to bed, yes, I have learned something new, which is going me to take me to the next step. Maybe it could be a baby step, but it could help me to reach, what ahead or what I was yesterday. So
All
this
right.
thing.
Super. So start basically. Take
Yeah,
step by step, step by step. Don't try to jump directly
yeah,
and don't compare. Just go your journey step by step.
yeah,
Automatically, the things will flow in the picture and everything.
yeah.
Okay, I think so. That's a very realistic advice as well. Okay, and before we wind up, just wanted to tell few things about you also. I want to tell few things about Pratibha as well. Okay, because I just want to share the journey as well. Okay, when Pratibha had a consultation call with me, she's had a consultation call with for 40 minutes. Okay, so scared. पूछ रहा था 2 मिनट में मेरा होगा, मेरे से होगा, मेरे प्रोफाइल की कोई हेल्प किया आपने? ठीक है, कैरियर ट्रांसफर कर रहा हूँ, मैंने तो टेक्निकल स्किल्स भी अभी शुरू किया, सीख रहा हूँ मैं, ये होता है वो होता है. So she has lot of confusion, lot of doubts, like any of you people who are seeing the podcast does. I only said only one thing: if you have skills, if you're ready to learn the skills, market will pay you. Right? That's the thing I've said. And she started being skeptical, being scared. But the best part is she didn't give up. She had also had a lot of rejections. She gave some interviews, couldn't clear technical rounds, but she went on the journey. So, guys, just don't listen to 30% hike. See the journey. She started 1 year back in technical terms as well and everything. So that is more important. So first thing, she didn't give up. Second thing is, of course, up and downs are, but she's been very consistent. At least in the last 1.5 month of the part, she's very, very consistent in terms of reaching out to people on LinkedIn, giving interviews. Continuous feedback loop is going on. कहाँ पे गलती कर रहा हूँ, करेक्ट करेक्ट करेंगे, फिर लूप पे आएंगे. So I think that has actually helped her to crack an offer letter is what I believe. Okay, and before you wind up, Pratibha, tell me what's your next goal? What's your planning? Now you're transitioning to DevOps. What's your next 2 year goal in terms of your career?
So right now, my 2 years, 6 months, I really have broken down my goals, like
Right.
months time.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
my next goal is to be a very good, skillful DevOps
Mhm.
engineer, and
Mhm.
then move to the senior position. And also,
Okay.
I'll make a transition as well in DevOps.
Okay, that's great, Pratibha. I think wishing you all the best once again for your new domain. Okay,
Thank
please inspire more people because we need this. Okay, we need the reason I do this podcast is there'll be somebody who is from your profile, QA transitioning to DevOps, and they may resonate with this. Guys, I'm going to put LinkedIn of account of Pratibha as well in the description. Connect with her, ask her any questions and queries. She'll be generous to help as well. Right. And that's it from my side, Pratibha. Thank you so much for doing this. It's great doing it from last couple of months. I hope I have provided some good amount of value. Vice versa, I've learned more about DevOps. I've learned more about the domain basically because as a career coach, it's important for me to know about every domain. So it's great traveling with you. I hope all your next goals, which you have told me, will come true, and you have a lot of people from the DevOps domain as well. Cool, fine. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast until the end. If you have watched, please share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to bring more different story from all the domains, and we share the journey and insights as well. And I hope this is adding value to your life as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next podcast soon. Bye bye.